What's up, Dragon Brood? So today we're taking a step back again, as we did a couple of days ago, and looking at one of the decks we put together at the beginning of the season. And in this one, we're going to be looking at a Clerics deck. And the reason I'm bringing this one up is I think at the beginning of the season, it was one of those pretty hopefuls that everybody thought might get there, and then it kind of didn't. And then the more I thought about it, it's really probably because everybody tried to do too much with them. As a matter of fact, this list we're going to be looking at kind of got back into my purview, if you want to call it that, because we were trying to build it with Pyre of Heroes. But then we discovered even that wasn't necessarily the way to go. This opened up the door for some other changes that look like they've actually been very positive for us over the last couple of days playing the deck. So, I'm going to share it with you. Let's go take a look at the new look Orzhov Clerics. Alright, so starting at the top, there's not going to be a ton of surprises, I think, as far as what's included, but I think just a few of the kind of interesting quantities of each, I think, are going to be the big deal here. We have 4 Speaker of the Heavens, and this is kind of, I don't know, par for the course. We all kind of expect this to be in here. You do get to several games where you're going to be able to make an angel, but one of the things I actually like about the Speaker of the Heaven, even more than being able to make the angels, is that there are a lot of times where it just draws fire for fear of getting to a point where they can make the angels. And that actually opens up the door for some other plays. So I like that. We're playing 3 Archfiend's Vessel. Only 3 because we don't necessarily have room. We're trying to squeeze a lot of things in here. Plus, we only have a handful of ways to really get this back out of the yard. So we're not leaning on that, but it is a cool thing we have the option of. 4 Bloodchief's Thirst. I believe this is important in the current environment, mostly because you have so many of the like mono red, mono white, even Gruul, the Nihilist being able to pick off like an early Innkeeper. Like a lot of that stuff really is important in the early stages, and this card really solves that problem. Plus, it is flexible and lets you take out bigger creatures later. Luminarch Aspirant. I feel like I've said it a ton of times this season. Like this is probably battling with Apparition for being the best white card out of Zendikar, but honestly, those are 2 of the best white cards in the format. So when you have an opportunity to play at least one of them, you kind of gotta. Cleric of Lifespawn. This is something interesting. When I've seen a lot of cleric lists from people, this has been the one they've actually like shaved on and played like 2 or 3, or sometimes for whatever reason I've actually seen some lists that didn't include it. And I just don't understand. Like this card as a whole does a lot of work sometimes by itself. And then we get it in pairs or in triplicate. Like these can end a game in just a couple of turns. So it's very hard to turn my nose up at this card. So I'm definitely playing 4 copies of it. Now I did move up to playing 2 copies of Dire Tactics main deck. And the reason was there's a lot of things that are just hard to deal with. And sometimes you still need to be able to play your spell and kill a creature. And one of the advantages of this deck, the way it's built, is being able to get multiple spells played in a turn. So being able to have Dire Tactics that can just take anything out is so good, so flexible, and the fact that it can also exile things is very important. The fact that you can get rid of a Kroxa, right? You can get rid of things. And I actually had a match where we got rid of something in the cycling deck, right? So you didn't send that extra thing to the graveyard. There's a lot of stuff like that that it can actually be very important to use Dire Tactics on. And on the lower end of our curve, we do have a fair amount of humans. We're talking about Speaker of the Heavens, Archfiend's Vessel, Luminarch Aspirant. So we don't have a ton of humans, but we do have enough that there's a lot of times where we won't even take damage. But we do have a fair amount of ways to gain life, so it's not going to hurt us that much, even if we have to. Then we have Fiend Artisan. Now, this is the card I think people are going to look at and be like, why Fiend Artisan? Well, the issue for us ended up being, where did we want to put all those other cards, right? Like, do we want to play an extra copy of Archfiend's Vessel? Do we want to play 2, 3, or 4 vetoes? Things like that, right? This allows you to get those other cards when you want them, right? If you need something to come over a top, you can go get an angel, like that sort of thing. The other thing too is that we don't have a lot of bodies we can top deck that are of significant size. And when you're in a top deck situation, a Fiend Artisan comes out, a lot of times it's going to be a 5/5, 6/6, 8/8, something like that. So it was really worth the gamble, and so far it's worked out okay. Oftentimes, though, you are going to look pretty much for a Valkyrie if you're needing to come over the top, a Veto if you're trying to end the game, or an Aura if you just want some defensive situation and you have some things in the graveyard, right? Those are going to be your three most common things I think that we're looking for. But regardless, if you don't like it, feel free to take it out, add in another like Veto and maybe a Dire Tactics or something, whatever you want to do. But for me, so far, it's actually worked out pretty well. Playing 3 Maul of the Skyclaves. This is just another good way to kind of come over the top, be a finisher, give your creatures a little bit of size again. If you draw them late and you already have a Skyclaves out, you can go ahead and like pump those creatures up. So big deal there. Righteous Valkyrie, good all around. Cleric happens to be an angel, but you know, really does a lot of work in here. And combined with Veto, you really can end the games pretty quickly here. Playing 1 Luminous Broodmoth, and this is a spot that if you want to pull this out of the list and play an additional Veto or whatever, totally fine. I've seen some lists trying to play like 3 Luminous Broodmoth, 3 Auras. The reality is you need to maximize the number of clerics you have because you have a few things that do care about clerics. But you also need versatility, right? And Aura gives you that. But like when things are dying, they're coming back and you're getting to pick what you want and get something back out of, especially late in the game. There's a lot of times where you do end up with a lot of life where Aura is more powerful, which we're playing 4 of, by the way, but lets you get back something like that Speaker of the Heavens late, so your opponent has to do something and can't just sit there, you know, while you're at 30 life or whatever and set up to make angels, as opposed to, well, all right, well, Aura died, I just got Aura back, right? And the reality is, Luminous Broodmoth almost always just draws a bullet anyway. So there's only a game or two we get really, I don't even know if I have to go back and look at the footage. I don't even know if we have one in this video where we actually get to take advantage of the Broodmoth anyway. But it's neat. It's a cool extra thing. It's almost like a 5th Aura in some ways. But up to you how you want to treat that in your list. And then we're playing 8 Snow-Covered Plains, 9 Snow-Covered Swamps, 4 Bright Climb Pathways, and 2 Faceless Havens. Really only on the Snowland plan, just for the ability to be able to activate a couple of Faceless Havens. Gives us a little bit of extra reach if they sweep the board a couple times. Maybe it's arguable the Broodmoth could come out and maybe be an extra Faceless Haven even. I could see that being a thing. But I'll leave that to y'all to figure out. And I do have a sideboard available in here, so if you want to check that out, check it out. But for now, let's go look at these matches. I don't hate this hand, but I don't love it either. Alright, I'm going to keep it. This is a gamble, but we'll see. This opponent did not have an Innkeeper. I also don't have a black mana or a 3rd mana, so may not matter. Let's find out. I was just thinking, even if they did nothing else here. Okay, well that changes things. I was just thinking, like, a Snakeskin Veil could have possibly, like, wrecked our world. And Snakeskin Veil is one of those cards that, like, it's not super common to run into, though it is a good card. But it's almost like a filler card in some, like, mid-level lists these days. Ah, Aspirant. Okay, I don't hate that. That makes a lot of sense. Or Apparition, I say. I have the Aspirant. Yeah, that's a tough one for the opponent. And you have to decide which one of those you want to get rid of. Not blocking. You can bet on that. No reason to attack there. We can get that life drain, which is probably going to be a better way toward us trying to win here. Ah, I did that wrong. I need to do this first. Gosh dang it. I even said it out loud and then didn't do it. On here. Because we're really just trying to end this. We're not even gonna hit the Speaker of the Heaven situation because they're gonna be attacking with the Lovestruck Beast, so we're just gonna let through. Oh, never mind. As this changes some things. I think we still let it through though. I'm just gonna have to use this Blood Chief's Thirst here on old Big Gargs, unfortunately. Yeah, I think we still put it here. Get in our damage where we can. Still not good for the opponent's ground creatures to attack other than Lovestruck Beasts, so that's fine. Still not blocking. Not really in our best interest here. I mean, if they have nothing else, I'm assuming it's possible it could still have Brazen Borrower, but if they have nothing else, then this is lethal. I mean, we could either just pump everything. I'm gonna do it this way though, the safe way, in case they do want to bounce something. Yeah, see? And that's why I didn't do the thing with veto, because I know better. We're gonna go ahead and juice up in Aura, I think, is what we do there. So now, unless they have a bounce thing, they're still just dead. Because now we have Aura as a 4/4, Veto, Speaker, and Luminarch Aspirant. It's going to give something +1/+1. There's a Toski that will let them draw cards. So now we have to decide if I want to chump block or not. Because just chump blocking drains the opponent. Do I have anything in the yard? I don't think I do. No. So if we block, that's 5. And then, yeah. So sure, why not? Then we just pump everything? Yeah, we know what's in their hand, so that's going to be lethal up. Yep, alright. And I can cast stuff. No idea if this is a good hand worth keeping or not. Or even what I want to play on turn 2 right now. Because part of me wants to play the Cleric of Lifespawn, but also the idea of just chaining out a bunch of aspirants seems kind of cool. Ooh, but I do like it when we can go multiple Lifespawns. Alright, well let's try that gamble. Looks like it could be just a mono green snow type deck, so if it is, I feel a little better about this play. It's not. I feel terrible about this play. Yeah, come on. Get on with your stomp. Oh, it's just a Robber of the Rich. Oh, interesting. Oh, no. Oh, that is the worst. Man. I'm glad I have witnesses for this. Y'all have seen some of the sickest pulls my opponents have had with Robbers of the Rich against me lately. Alright. Yeah, them getting access to our Maul of the Skyclaves is not cool. Hoping to get lands here, so we could play 2 of these aspirants next turn would be great. And then being able to turn something into like a 6/6, and the next turn making a big one into a 6/6, and like that'd be awesome. But we'll see. Well, actually, it'll be bigger than that because they're gonna. No, they'll go to. Yeah, that's accurate. So, all right. They'll go to 4/4s. Then we can pump 1 to a 5/5. Alright, no attacking here. If they do have a fight spell or something, that's fine. We lose one of our Cleric of Life spawns. Totally reasonable. Well, yeah, you get access to them all, the Skyclaves. Why would you not, right? What if they don't have that? You know what? I'm going to block with the big one just in case. I was going to block with the 4/4, but if they just have, like, Stomp or something, that's no good. Okay, well, we're not going to be so worried about that Maul of the Skyclaves, because we'll have this of our own if we want it. Though getting a Mothra here doesn't suck either. But playing this, could we turn both these into 8/8s? No, I'll be short one to do that. Alright, we'll make at least one an 8/8. And then we'll attack with this. I mean, if they want to trade their board for it, I'm okay with that. Like, totally fine. Because really, all they have is a Lovestruck Beast on defense. Like, if they attack with it, that's not going to do anything. Alright, that can kind of sort of block something, I guess. Oh, well, then there's that as a thing. Alright, well, I guess it doesn't matter much here anyway, then. And then we juice up one of our aspirants, I suppose. Do we just make a big fat aspirant? Attack with the other? We're probably just attacking with these anyway, but I'm gonna juice this up just for the future considerations. I probably should have made these bigger than 9/9s, actually. That's probably a mistake. Ah, well, I'm already committed. F it. Okay. I mean, because we're in a pretty good spot to win anyway. I could have probably just attacked with everything there and make them split their attacks across the board, but it was still going to take me an additional turn to kill them anyway. This way it doesn't greatly change things. They got their 4th mana, but we're at 27 life. They can't really attack with anything. Crowing War, sure, that doesn't change anything. They're still at 1. Alright. Yeah, because we just save this and just make flyers, so. Alright. That, I mean, I kind of like the idea of playing a Clerical Ice Spawn followed by Veto, but I don't know if that's really where we want to be. I have people constantly complain to me about it. Either I don't put card backs on, or I don't use my card styles. Okay, we're going to do this. I feel like this has a chance to be reasonably safe if this is either mono green or green-white counters. Either way, we're going to be trying to kill something next turn with Blood Chief's Thirst, which is going to result in them getting a token, which is fine. Oh, 2 tokens. That's not fine. That's not fine at all. That's, frustrating and sad, actually. So do I want this to be a 3/3? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. If they have a land plus the fight spell, they're going to kill that anyway. Oh, actually, that's not true. I'm an idiot. I could have just... Yeah, because I can still kill the one that's bigger. I wasn't even thinking. It's alright. I guess now they still have to choose between Aspirant and Cleric. I guess they're really thinking about blocking here. I sure hope they do. That'll make us playing this Blood Chief's Thirst a lot less painful. Okay, they chose not to. Alright, I guess this is what we gotta do. At some point, we're gonna have to get rid of these anyway. I mean, they could still, like, Blizzard Brawl either of these if they want to. Okay, well now they can't. What you got going for me, opponent? Old Growth Troll, alright. Legit. I have much respect for the old growthest of trolls. What do we do here? We can put Maul the Skyclaves on the Cleric Alive spawn. That makes it a 5. Put a counter makes it 6. Would keep it out of range of being fought by an old growth troll, which would be nice. We could also veto and then drain the opponent for... But that's only for 1. We're gonna do this. There's a chance they could still have something like Gem Razor here, but you know what? If they have it, we gotta find out. Then we tick for 6, 7. Yeah, still not quite enough. Alright, lots of Swarm Shamblery action happening here. Hey, Sean, thanks for liking the stream. We're gonna go ahead and let that go. I see no reason to fight that. Alright, let's go ahead. And that's going to give them more tokens, though. Not that it probably matters. Alright. I mean, do we just kill that to not have to deal with it next turn? Probably wrong to do. Alright, so this is 7. We can make it 9. Opponent goes... Just thinking, if we play Veto next turn, that doesn't quite drain the opponent, but it's close. I'm going to do this and spread the love out a little bit, just in case we need it. Because we're still going to need at least 2 turns to kill the opponent anyway. Or at least another attack step. This one and the next one. Nope, they just GG'd. Alright, they didn't have it. We're kind of playing a variety of things, but we're just on Clerics right now. Generally, though, the thing on my streams I normally tell people is watch for a game or two, and then if you don't understand, please ask, because otherwise I have to answer that question like 15 times when people stop by. Back when I played, I used to go out of my way to not make any of the meta decks. I always make my own. I kind of thought it was lame to just go online and copy a net deck. You know, here's the thing. I think a lot of people still have that opinion. A lot of people put stock in that, but one of the things I tell people is that I can't blame people for making the decisions to net deck something, right? Because some of it's just about time and efficiency. Sometimes you just don't have the skill. Some people aren't good at deck building, but other people already are. So take advantage of the work that's been done. Like, you know, the example I use is when Elon Musk and Tesla started making electric cars, they already had a blueprint on how engines worked, right? So they didn't start all the way over making engines. They went, well, we know combustion engines work and we know 4 wheels move a car, so let's start there. You know, and then start working the other way, which I think is a pretty big deal. Boy, what do we do here? Alright, I'm gonna do this. Because at least I can still fight a Nighthawk. Even though this Aspirant's probably just gonna die a gory death, but gotta try. Have a sweet Mardu vehicles list of 75 if you're interested in grinding best 3. I am not interested in playing any historic. Like, I was literally with your statement and kind of interested all the way until we got to the word historic, and then I was out. And truthfully, if I were going to play historic right now, I'd probably just throw a Gruul deck together and go for it. For me, historic it just feels like it needs some balancing to me. Like, my experiences in historic have been very boring and non-interactive over my last few attempts. Okay, what are we gonna do here? I think I'm going to do this first. Put my counter here. And then see if this... Oh, the aspirant didn't die. I could have... Man. You'd asked me 1,000 times. I swear I thought they were setting up to kill our aspirant. Oh, man. Oh, I don't think you understand, Chris. I literally don't care about the matchups in Historic. And I don't mean that to be rude. Like, I don't care about one deck being better. I would just play Gruul because it's one of the few things I find fun in Historic. And that would be the end of it. Like, I just play too many decks where they just don't interact. I mean, just too many, like, big one-card things in Historic that have kept it being unfun for me. So, I just look at other options. I'm playing a lot of Standard these days. Alright, let's see what you got, opponent. Alright. Well, how does the opponent have no kill spells or anything? What's going on here? I mean, just gonna play that and untap or remove a creature from combat? Like, sure. Okay, I don't know what's happening. I really don't. I mean, I guess I'll just play Mothra next turn because, but... What is this list? Like, it's like a weird control-y type thing. Maybe they're just gonna play Ugin in 2 turns? Just stall till you get to that? I mean, I can't think of anything else that's like they're gonna do here. I mean, you keep the Nighthawk, you can block one of our Valkyries, which makes sense. I mean, we have this now to just kill one. Here's the thing, though. Do we want to... But if they have a kill card, they would have already played it on one of these, right? Unless it's like exactly Heartless Act. Alright, I feel like I'm giving the opponent too much time doing this, but okay. Spreading the love around, so if they do have some way to remove a creature. Oh, if opponent has a Storm's Wrath, this is no good here. Your spells are no good here. Alright, 2, 4, 6, 7. Still not Ugin. And you're only at 5. Any combination of these two is lethal. And I'm just going to put a counter on the 3/5 next turn. Okay. And do you have the last removal for an aspirant? The answer looks like no. Okay, then. Oh, actually, I did that wrong. I could have actually played that and that. Nah, well. Probably doesn't matter here. Just putting the counter on the Broodmoth because I mean, if they have a way to survive this, they have a way to survive it. So surprisingly, the deck held up pretty well. I mean, we basically played the whole last leg of Diamond into the few games into Mythic with it. So it definitely holds up. It doesn't really matter what levels. We went against a couple of big decks. I do think you still have a few small issues here or there, but nothing that can't be navigated. But it does have a little bit of game against everything, which is pretty nice. And I'm not sure we thought that was going to be the case when we were playing it on stream the other day. But yeah, if you've been looking for an upgrade to Clerics or looking for a different way to get that going again, give this a look. It's a little different than what we had at the beginning of the season, but it really does still hold its own, surprisingly. Now, for today's card spotlight, we're going to talk about Beastwalkers. Why this card? This junky thing from Homelands? Honestly, it's on here just to show everybody how absurd the Magic singles market is right now. Like, everything practically is selling. If it's any type of old, uncommon even, or rare from old sets, or rare and playable from anything remotely recent, people are buying stuff up. Like, it's crazy. Numbers are high. Like, I don't know if it's just there's been a whole collectible boom for the last 9-10 months. People are getting their stimulus and they're spending it on things. Like, I don't know, but this is a crazy time. This card being pretty much unplayed and whatever is still almost $4. Really, this is where we are right now. Anyway, remember, if you want today's deck, you can get it down in the description below. It links you right over to my Aetherhub. You can see all my other deck lists there. Also in the description, if you want to join my Discord and come hang out there, talk about Decklist or whatever else that's going on in gaming, or if you want to just come follow me over my Facebook gaming streams or my Twitch streams and be part of the coverage. Who knows? Also, don't forget, if you're shopping for anything on Amazon or Magic cards on TCGPlayer, if you use the links in my description, you'll be helping me and the channel out. I'll get a 1 to 3% kickback, and you don't have to spend any money you weren't already spending. And as always, I gotta ask, if you haven't, especially if this is like your 4th, 5th, 6th video to come watch, why haven't you hit the like button and hit that subscribe button? Because that helps me out so much and lets me know you appreciate what I'm doing. But most importantly, remember to hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I have a video up. But that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.